Let's do this. Let's do this. Hi, everyone. Hi. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Elise Garcia, also known as Her Money Mentor. I brought myself up from the trenches, from EBT food stamp cards and pretty much no money. Lost my job during COVID, all the way to, I guess, now having 500,000 in net worth and $100,000 saved. Excuse me if, the camera lens is there, but you guys are actually here. So it might seem a little weird, like where my eyes are going everywhere, but I think I'm just gonna look like here and then occasionally there because I'm so used to courteously looking at the camera. So I posted in my group a very fun post where I explained that a few years ago, I would have never known that there were specific advantages and invitations that the wealthy receive. Okay, let's put it that way. There's things that are happening back here that people just don't even know about. And so I posted this invitation for an American Express, right? It says, Dear Lise, as a savvy business owner and American Express business card member since March 2010, you're one of the first invited to apply for the Business Platinum card. Now, why am I making this video? I'm making this video because old me would have ran to American Express and probably used whatever pre-approval, yep, RSVP code that I received and just done it because I would have felt super special and I would have been like, heck yes, this is awesome. But now I practice the art of discernment, and not every offer is the best offer. Not all offers are good offers. And most importantly, not all offers are for you, regardless of receiving a pre-approval, for example. So I asked in my group, would y'all be interested in learning about how I learn and figure out if this American Express Business Platinum card is even right for me? And so this is completely impromptu video. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. But first, let me do a little kind of blank slate so we can take a look at this. And so what is it that I'm going to be doing? And normally I would look up the credit card on the internet, I'd look this up. So that's pretty much what we're going to do. So let us begin. Now you receive this credit card in the mail and you're like, what is this? Is this for me? All right. So the first thing we're going to do is vet this thing. All right. So American Express Platinum card, and they're kind of trying to convince me with this limited edition mirror card designs. It's super snazzy. It's $895 a year, and it's got some points as well as some incentives. And so we're gonna find this card, and the first thing that I'm gonna do is figure out, am I being scammed in the sense that this offer that I have on paper, is this the best offer and is it the only offer? And so we're going to find the card now. As as I say, you're a savvy business owner and you're one of the first invited, right? First invited. So platinum, is this it? Platinum card. Yes, looks like American Express business card. Yeah, business platinum card. This is it. So now I see it has $895 annual fee. That's right. Now, let's go through these in a bit of detail, okay? So the annual fee, how am I going to determine if that's even worth it to me? I have questions. The next question I have is, am I going to be able to get any incentives or any cash value for this annual fee? That's question number one. So in a and I'll say poor, and I want to reiterate that this is not talking about like being broke or being like under poverty. This is just how I assimilate my mind to when I was I guess less fortunate back then. And then now that I'm more fortunate to be discerning, I'm going to say like the poor or broke mindset and then the wealth and growth mindset. Okay. Is the poor, broke mindset of mine would have immediately looked at this fee and been like, $895? That's stupid. I'm not ever going to pay that for a credit card. Shut me down. And I would not have even looked to see if that was good for me. Okay. Wealth growth mindset me now says, it's $895. Let's see what I'm getting for this $895. Is it something I'm even going to use or take advantage of? Right. And so Now I see as well, additional platinum card annual fee is $195. So I guess if you want an extra, no annual fee for companion. Okay, your partner. So now if I'm married, which right now I'm not, if I'm married, my partner could have an extra card without an annual fee, which is a great benefit, but I'm not married. So initially, this benefit doesn't really help me at all. And if I wanted to get an extra card for a family member, for example, it would be $195 additional. Now, my immediate question is, am I going to get $195 additional benefits? And most likely the answer is no. So what you're truly paying for here is the to extend the benefit to someone else. Okay, so think about it that way. And this is why it's important to understand your mindsets and what side of the fence you're living on, because this is $195 for someone else to be able to utilize these benefits that you're locking in for $895. All right. So there's two different ways to look at it versus, oh no, this extra person is going to cost me $195. What do I get for that? Nothing. It's not worth it. It could very well be worth it. Let's look at it now. Now, the offer online is that you get 80,000 membership reward points. And the reality is, on most occasions, we don't really know what that means. And the old me would have looked at 80,000 and said, wow, this is amazing. 80,000 points is so cool and generous, I guess, maybe, right? So the first thing we're going to do is American Express point system explained. All right. We're going to try and figure out, all right, there we go. Work by earning at least 1 point per dollar on spending, often with bonus points, travel, redeeming, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So something I do want to explain if you're new to the credit card or credit world is that points can have a different significance. And I'll put it really simply. This paper could be 1,000 points, but now you have 1,000 points to shop their marketplace. If you get a flight's 1,000 points might be cheaper, which means you could get more flight than cash. And if you get cash, those 1,000 points, the cash reward or redemption might be more expensive. And so, depending on what the cost of what you're looking for is in terms of how they evaluate the cost per points, you could essentially maximize your 1,000 points by using it on something specific where it's worth more, or you can make a mistake to cash out or minimize those 1,000 points because you didn't really look into how those points actually translate. AI can be incorrect. So let's just use this information here, but I would definitely look into it a little bit more. But here it says if you're booking travel through Amex Travel, 1 cent is 1 point. 1 cent, not a dollar. Okay. Gift cards are up to a cent point, which means if you buy gift cards, right? If you buy gift cards, you're going to get less money back than if you travel. Travel is 1 cent a point, but gift cards are up to a cent a point, which means they're less, right? And then statement credits, or AKA what I consider cash back, so just a credit to get your statement down, is 0.6 cents a point. So in some occasions, you may be better off getting a gift card if the gift card's up to a cent per point than a statement credit. And I hope that helps you understand that the points here don't actually mean anything. All right. Because the way that you're going to use those points is up to you. And then they do change. There's different offers that come up. There's different ways you can redeem your points. There's different partners that come up. And those partners are negotiated with how much is this point going to be worth to you. And then they tell us. So now you have 80,000 points. In your best case scenario, let's say that you have best case scenario is 1 cent a point, right? And I know this is kind of like 80,000 Amex points at 1 cent a point is worth how much? Okay. So that is worth, in its best case scenario, it is worth $800. We can look at my offer. So now you're going to look at your offer and be like, okay, I've been offered this many points, right? How does my credit card company determine what those points are? And most importantly, what are my options? What's the best case scenario and what's the worst case scenario? And so we'll do worst case scenario, you want credit on your account. So worst case scenario, kind of, right? Because gift cards are up to 1 cent, which means that this could essentially be more than a gift card, but we'll leave it at that. This means that you could get $480. So if you were to claim the same offer at 80,000 membership points, depending on how you claim that offer, you could lose almost $400 because you didn't plan properly or you didn't even really evaluate what those points even meant. Now we know that we're being offered online anywhere from $400 to $800 in membership points. But here's the catch. The catch is you have to spend $8,000 on purchases on your new card in the first 6 months of membership. Now let's make this easy. You don't have to spend $8,000 right away. So you have 6 months to spend that $8,000. So we're going to say, what's 8,000 divided by 6? They're asking you to spend $1,300. Well, let's say 1,400. Let's just to be safe, right? To meet the quota. They're asking you to spend $1,400 a month on that American Express for 6 months consecutively if you do it the way I did. You could buy a roof. You could buy a roof and just get that out of the way, right? If you have a big ticket expense, you could essentially be looking at this video right now and be like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm in, right? I need this. This a business expense coming right up. But some of us who live below under our means and don't have a lot of expenses might look at this and say, is this even doable for me? So now I figured out if it's not very doable for me, how much do they actually want me to spend so I can make this $400 or $800? So I need to not only spend $8,000 to get that money, but I have to make sure I'm able to get that money before the offer ends. So at the very minimum, $1,500 a month is what I need to commit to this credit card to make sure that I'm going to get my bonus. Now, you now can be discerning and say, is this a good offer? In theory, the way that I would see it is this. I need to spend $1,500 a month for 6 months on this American Express so that I can get the annual fee covered only if I'm able to buy a vacation at the 800 something dollars. Why? Why did I think this? Why am I thinking this way? Remember, the card is not going to give you cash back because if it gives you cash back, it's going to give you $450, right? Something like that. So it's not going, this incentive does not cover the fee. We just determined it. It could cover the fee, but only if we're able to get a cent per point. If we get a cent per point, it would almost cover the $900 fee. But here's the kicker. They don't give it back to you in cash, right? Because if they did, you get the $400. It's like, what the heck? I can't even get the annual fee covered. Well, here's the thing. Let's say that this year you have a vacation planned. And that vacation, the ticket, we're going to go to skip lagged, okay? We're going to go on a little vacation right now. I'm in Tampa, okay? So now I'm thinking, I need to spend $1,500 for 6 months to get this comped in a way, because you are really spending the $800 anyway, okay? But stick with me because this is how the rich do it. It's how the rich do it, okay? So now we're like, where can I go? I can essentially go honestly anywhere at this point. I can go to Tucson, I can go and even if you got the cash back, you probably still got a vacation at that point. But the reason why we're doing it something like this is because travel gives you a higher point redemption. So you would pay this cash instead of paying cash to book.com. You would pay it to the card, which would then translate it to the travel. And I hope that that makes sense. You may also be looking at this and say, well, that's not worth it. I would have to pay for the card. Ding, ding, ding. You might be correct in this situation. So there's a few things to assess. Number one is if I have something pre-planned or somewhere I'd like to go where this would benefit me and I pay for my card and I get my points and then I get the vacation back and now I have the card and the vacation. Uh, and what's most important, I have $1,500 to put on it. That's the most important part. Otherwise, none of this works, right? If I don't have $1,500 to put on it, it doesn't work. There are better offers. So we can look at the offer that I received, which is actually 200,000 points. But here's the kicker: more points, more money, honey, which means they want me, very likely, to spend much more money to work for those points, right? You got to work for the points. So with my offer, we can reevaluate and we're going to try again, just so you guys can see how these offers vary, how this affects you directly. Now, in terms of what we can spend, let me at least finish this because I'm going to show you how it can translate very, very cool with our money clarity dashboard. So I have the money clarity dashboard. I have one of my favorite years because that year I was just, I don't know, guys, I was laser focused. My favorite year, I think, is 2023. If you look at it, look at it. You could just see it. It's just beautiful. So my favorite year is 2023. So I'm going to download 2023. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to AI, for example, and I'm going to upload my money clarity dashboard. And we are going to master budget. Great. Okay, so what I want to do here is now start to engage with it. And my first order of business is, how much did I spend on travel anyway? This, how much did I spend on travel? Anything? Right. So my first order of business is, was I even traveling? Am I a traveler? Am I a traveler, or am I just like getting swindled by American Express right now? Or if I look at it, I'm like, your girl doesn't even travel. Maybe I go to the spa or something, but that I don't even travel, right? So they're giving me a condition. The travel point is where I get the most money. I don't have to do it this way. I can get the cash. I can get $400 cash, and now the card costs me $400 to own, right? You can do that. That's still a great deal if you have the expenditure, right? So while that thinks, my next question I would like to ask is, would I have enough, probably expenses? Oh, ew. Let's try again. Let's try again with the easy, with an easy question, right? Would I have enough expenses to put on an American Express? And you can even say, I need to spend 1,500 a month for 6 months. And then let's try it again. Of course, when we do live demos is when this stuff doesn't work. So I'm used to it. I'm like, yeah, this is normal. So while that, hopefully that works, there we go. And it'll tell you. You don't even have to look at your money. You don't have to look at your money clarity dashboard. If you've been doing the work or you do the work and catch up, you just plug it in and say, is this even doable for me? Now, back in 2023, let's see if that 80,000 American Express offer would have even worked for me, right? Hitting this is a common goal. Yes. Based on your expenditure, here's a breakdown of how you can reach that $1,500 a month without spending any extra money. Okay. The basics: groceries. So I was spending this much on grocery. I was spending this much on takeout, and I was spending this much on gas and this much on subscriptions. I also had some cell phones, water, insurance. Ooh, your girl, I'm proud of that one. That's a low insurance. And then, of course, it tells me what I was kind of averaging, and then what else, what other suggestions it might have. This one is an amazing resource. So I would look into this if this is new to you. You can contribute somewhere around 4,000 to 440, 42, 4,400 to an account. So that would take, half of that. But then you'd have to make sure that you can pay it with a credit card, right? So there's many caveats. So now this is where we do the art of discernment and figure out, is this realistic or am I pushing this, right? Are all these bills, can I even pay these bills with a credit card? I know I can put my insurance on a credit card, so maybe I can prepay my insurance. Now I get a discount for insurance and I put something on my balance on my Amex, right? This is where we now start to think, not like the broke mindset, right? Not like the poor mindset where we're like, ah, 895, that's terrible. Now we're thinking, okay, what doors can this unlock? How can I get my vacation? How can I claim my points without doing anything differently? And if you can't, let's do scenario two, because the offer that I received was amazing, but I'm barely, if you're looking at my 2023, I'm barely hanging on to making this $1,500 because I don't have that many bills and I'm a minimalist. So I don't really pay that much stuff, but I could prepay things. That's an excellent way to look at it. And I would call and say, hey, I'm thinking about prepaying this. What is the repercussions? Can I save on this? What's happening? Can I use a credit card? So now you go into investigative mode and figure out, all right, I think if I can make this happen, and I really want to get my $800 from American Express, not to mention we'll dive into benefits, right? But notice that I'm checking to see if this is a good offer for me, and I haven't even looked at the benefits because I need to make sure I can meet this offer. I need to make sure that this offer is really speaking to me. If you can't meet the offer, then you're going to talk yourself into benefits that might not even apply to you. Now, this offer that I received is 200,000 membership reward points. I'm a little nervy, guys. I'm a little nervy because wait till I tell you the spend. 200,000 points um, at zero point 0.6 cents, right? Okay, so now I'm accessing more money, right? Amex is like, here, take more. You're a superstar candidate. Take more money. We'll give you $200,000 with an annual fee of $895. They don't want to let go of that annual fee. And we can, if you have questions about letting go of annual fees, you comment below, and I will get on the phone with them and see if they could do it. So they want to give me 200,000 points. You know how much they want me to spend? $20,000. $20,000. But here's the kicker. $20,000 in the first 3 months of membership. My friends, $20,000 divided by 3 is almost $7,000 a month. So as amazing as this offer is, I now need to figure out if this is even doable. And we're going to finish the 2025 dashboard together this last week of the month in the Financial Clarity Club. So if you have not done your dashboard or you don't even know what I'm talking about, come check us out because it's a really cool group where we kind of honestly, this is it. We're looking at our money and we're not even making huge money transactions or what to tell you what to do with your money. We are simply creating a clarity dashboard so we can have financial empowerment with AI. And so what we're going to do, I'm hesitant because I haven't finished my 2025 dashboard. I'm going to do it with you guys. But what we'll do is I will upload my 2025 dashboard. And once I do, beautiful. Once I do, I'm going to upload it and give it the same question. And so let's upload the 2025, which is incomplete, but it should be smart enough to understand what's going on in my life and what I've got. I've got all my accounts there. By the way, never put any identifying information on your budget sheet. Keep it, keep it. Okay. So would I have enough expenses and I need to spend 6666. Oh, angel numbers. 6,700 a month for 3 months. So now this is doing the work for me and helping me understand, like, girlfriend, you are not a baller. Or maybe I am, right? It'll give me some ideas. Now in this year, the difference between my money clarity dashboard in 2023 and 2025 is that I now have more property. I have more assets. I have more rental vehicles. And so there is actually a chance that I could pull this off, but we will wait and see. And like I said, take it with a grain of salt because my dashboard's not complete, but it will kind of try and tell me, hey, girl, this looks good or it's not. Now, we know that this could potentially be a little over $1,000. So this offer does actually take care of the fee, right? The offer takes care of the fee. And since the offer takes care of the fee, it's a better incentive for me, but it can only make sense if my spend makes sense. I need to be able to meet that spend. Now, based on this, there you go. So I've got housing. So we're looking very good. I've got to edit that out. I've got housing. I've got my cars. I've got my subscriptions, right? I've got everything. And so it's telling me, hey, by the way, it looks like you might be able to do this. So if I want to have this card, now I can make a few phone calls to my, creditors, debtors, all these people that are, taking my money, and I can figure out, can I prepay? Can I pay more? Can I use my credit card on this, right? And so it gives you everything you need to know. Now that I see that this is a potential, it's a potential. Now I need to figure out, is it worth it for me to even go through all this trouble, calling people, seeing if I can make the quota so I can get these 200,000 reward points so I could get a free, think about it that way, wealth mindset. It's a free platinum business. What is it? Platinum card, American Express platinum card with the 200,000 points. It makes it much more attractive. It just now makes it harder for me to get there, but not impossible. But here's the kicker. Now I want to know, well, why do I even want this card anyway? Okay. Why do I even want this card anyway? Here are the offer terms. It tells us what's going on with this offer, whether you can use these points for certain things, the annual fee that we talked about. And here we get to some juicy stuff, okay? And the juicy stuff is I get $120 Uber credit. Do we have a calculator, guys? So now with the offer, we get $120 of Uber, right? A year. 8 weeks after. And what I would do here if I got this card is once I got the card, I would do a task reminder in my calendar. Hey, your Uber credits should be available now. So after 8 weeks, we have 200 airline fee credit. Ooh, our vacation just got better. So now we have a credit. I love it. Airline fees. I love this. I love this. So now we have a travel discount on top of travel credit. So there's a chance that we don't even need to use all of our money, right? All of our points. We don't need to use it for travel. They're giving us an extra 200. So I would still, if I wanted to maximize the points, I'd still travel more or go to a more fancier place, right? Luxurious places. Now I have a $200 discount, but I don't have to. I'm getting 200, and if I get cash, I would get 400. That's 600. You're losing 200. So just so you understand how I see it, how it works. Now, oh my God, an Aura ring. I've actually always wanted one of those. So now we're talking, we got ourselves an Aura ring. I'm assuming this is for an Aura ring purchase. You can buy yourself and you get yourself an Aura ring. So now you're traveling, you've got Uber Cash. Geez, this is a cool card. So, by the way, do you see why we do not do this before the money? Okay, we don't do it before the money because we have to really understand, is this for me? Can I make this happen before I get lost in the sauce? Okay, so now we have 209. Ooh, Clear Plus. I love Clear Plus. When you travel, this you can just put your biometrics, your eyeballs or your finger, and you just go through TSA like nobody's business. Okay, you are VIP there. They don't even basically stop you, honestly. You're just like going in there and you're awesome. So that's very cool. I had Clear before. And now what is this $300 entertainment, digital entertainment? My mind needs a little cleanse. I'm like, what is that? Oh, we've got subscriptions. Oh my goodness. And you guys saw my spend. Think about it this way. This is very important. My spend that I was going to put on the Amex was my subscriptions. So now they're telling me, hey, you would get a $300 credit. The tricky part here is understanding, does this credit affect my spend? Okay, so if I'm going to charge my subscriptions on there to try and meet the quota and they're taking it off because they're giving me money back, I have to now call Amex and figure out, so how does this work, right? Do you guys give that back to me later? Does my spend count? Do you just zero it out? How does it actually work? But it's still money, so we're gonna add that on here. Equinox. Oh my goodness. I'm at the gym. So now I'm getting fitness. I'm traveling. I've got myself an Aura gym. Lulu? Oh my, we've got Lulu. We've got Lulu. This is Resi. Oh, we're exercising, we're traveling, we are living it up. Ma'am's $600 hotel credits. Oh my God. And I get double points if I go on cruises, or if I book online, or if I book through the reservation system with Air and Hotel. So I even get opportunities to get more points if I leverage their reservation system. Okay, so there's so many fun things here that we can assess if it's for us. Now, judging by this card, this is your wellness girly card, guys. This is your wellness and travel girly. This has truly got my name all over it. And we are looking at an additional $2,829 in benefits as long as I can meet my spend quota within the 6 months or the 3 months. When you look at this, if you can make your 1,500 spend with the 80,000 points that they were providing, remember, it doesn't cover the fee depending on how you claim it, but your benefits could outweigh that fee. And now it's up to you to figure out, all right, what are the questions I'm asking myself? And not to mention credit, because credit is where we really talk about these terms. Having good credit is very, very important, but that's another masterclass. I wanted to show you if these things are even worth it, the mail-in offers, if they're even worth it. And so now we've asked ourselves, what is the fee? Can I make up that fee in points? What are the points worth to this company? In what ways can I redeem the points? Is my spend going to meet the minimum requirements to get any incentives that they're offering me or the actual points that they're offering me? And then finally, we look at the overall benefits to see if this card is for us. Are these benefits aligned with the way we're living our life, spending our money, and looking into the future to make sure that we have the right portfolio of credit cards that is going to serve us? Now, I think I can do the spend for the 200,000 points. But here's the thing. I don't even think I have an Equinox. That was kind of the deal breaker for me. I may revisit this, the moment I see an Equinox in Tampa, I'll be like, that I got to get myself the American Express. But then, the checks and balances are important to figure out, is this even worth it for me? When was the last time you ordered Uber? Right? Do you even want an Aura ring? My mom has one, my sister has one. I feel like that makes them more stressed because they're always looking at their stress. So it really depends on you and how you see this benefiting you and making sure that it's aligned and a good offer for you and your lifestyle. Thank you so much for playing with me today. I am so glad I was able to share this with you and also to be discerning and see that this offer would honestly take a lot of effort for me to make happen. But most importantly, it would also mean that I'm getting a lot of benefits that on some occasions I can't even claim. And on some occasions, the expenses that I'm using to try and get those points may actually be credited back to me. So this card I will unfortunately have to say no to, but I will continue waiting for my offers in the mail. And I encourage you, don't throw them away. take this as a learning environment and go ahead and use your Clarity dashboard to see if these offers are right for you. Take care.